Good evening, teacher and classmates. Today I'll be comparing two texts. One, a novel, A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, and a film, Titanic by James Cameron, through a feminist lens. Before I talk about my thesis, I would like to summarize my novel and film for your understanding. A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini talks about how a girl named Miriam, who lives with her mother, Naina, in a shack away from her father, Jalal, to save his pride after making Naina, a poor housemaid, pregnant. Later on, when Naina died, Miriam moved to Jalal's house. Even though this made her happy, Jalal made her get married at the age of 13 to Rashid, an abusive man. When Miriam arrived at Rashid's house, she was continuously being abused and punished for little things. Later, Layla, Rashid's neighbor that lost her parents in a bomb attack, married Rashid to stay alive. Through the novel, Mariam and Layla are always abused by Rashid and could not do anything since he controlled them. In the film Titanic, Rose, a upper class woman, is forced by her mother to marry a cow for his money, which would help them get out of debt. Later, while Rose is trying to jump off the ship, Jack stops her. After that incident, Rose and Jack started talking and became closer. Cal is worried that Rose is leaving him and starts controlling her by demanding her not to see Jack anymore. Throughout the novel, Rose had been forced by her mother and Cal to stop talking to Jack and gave her no choice of her own. Now that you have a better understanding of my novel and film, here is the thesis. Therefore, to the examination of the feminist critical lens in the examination of sexual abuse and force, the inability to fight for their own privilege and accepting the standards or stereotypes of society in Titanic by James Cameron, A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, the students gain enlightenment of the importance of equality between men and women in the modern society. The three arguments that I'll be talking about are sexual abuse and force, the inability to fight for their own privilege, and accepting the standards and stereotypes of society. Argument one is about sexual abuse and force. To begin, there are many countries that abuse women physically, emotionally, sexually, and sometimes forcefully. Through the novel A Thousand Splendid Suns and the movie Titanic, women are facing a similar dilemma where Mariam is abused by Rashid, Layla was pressured in marrying Rashid and threatened to death, and Rose forced into obeying Cal. To start off, Mariam, after moving in Rashid's house, was abused day and night by Rashid. For instance, one day during dinner time, Rashid informs Layla about Mariam's low status and says aloud to Mariam, "Have you told her, Mariam? Have you told her that you are a harami?" By the use of the word harami, Rashid had abused her by playing with her emotions, by presenting the word that was used in the past by her mother. Furthermore, Rose was caught by Cal trying talking to Jack and started telling her to stop. When she refused, Jack states, "Yes, you are, and my wife in practice, if not yet by law. So you will honor me as a wife as required to honor a husband. I will not be made out of fool. Is that any way unclear?" By this quote, Cal wants to make sure that Rose doesn't talk to Jack anymore. In addition, after Layla's parents passed away due to a bomb attack, Layla had to marry Rashid to stay alive. However, after a couple of days, Layla found out how abusive Rashid is and made a plan with Miriam to run away. The plan was not a success, and Rashid, being an abusive man, beats them while verbally abusing them. Before letting them go, Rashid tells Layla that, "You try this again and I'll find you. I swear on the Prophet's name that I'll find you. And when I do, there isn't a court in this God-forsaken country that'll hold me accountable for what I'll do. To Maryam first, then to her, and you last. I'll make you watch. You understand? I'll make you watch." Rashid threatens Layla that he will kill them, including her daughter, Aziza, if they try to run again. Argument 2 is about inability to fight for their own privilege. To begin, throughout the novel and film, we can see how Mariam, Layla, and Rose were unable to fight for their own rights.